We are back with a Fox News alert. A bomb squad still on the scene in Texas after two gunmen opened fire at a Muhammad art contest and are shot dead.
All right, now all this chaos erupting last night when the suspects ambushed security officer Bruce Joyner, who was unarmed. He was outside the event. He gets shot in the ankle. The cops immediately shot back. Both these gunmen dead.
That's right. The gunmen showed up with rifles and backpacks. Right now, the gunmen' identities and motives unclear. But just before shots rang out, a menacing message was posted on Twitter. Police and the FBI are still investigating that. So right now, let's bring in former CIA operative Gary Berntsen. A couple of Gary's friends were at the event, and he's been watching the events unfold as well. Gary, what do you think happened last night?
Well, people need to put in context the fact that you have significant Islamic fundamentalists operating out of Dallas. You know, you had the prosecution of the Holy Land Foundation that provided $12 million to Hamas back in 2008.
That's right.
So this has been a problem that the Bureau and the agency has known about for years. There are individuals, of course, that did an attack on this event. They showed up with AK-47 rifles. Friends of mine in the event told me this, and that they had drum magazines. That means significant capacity to fire on the crowd. They probably weren't there to kill one person. They were probably looking to do, mass casualties. Thank goodness for the Garland police. You know, people say that we don't need police in America. Excuse me. That's insanity, I mean, those police there are very, very brave. The SWAT team did a great job in protecting the participants in an event that was a First Amendment event.
Well, let me ask you something, Gary. From what you know in Texas, are you allowed to have an AK-47?
If those weapons were single fire shots, not automatic rifles, but an AK-47 with a, that was a semi-automatic would be legal, just like an AR-15 would be legal. But the fact is they came with large capacity from what I was told from individuals at the event. And again, kudos to the SWAT team for protecting those lives.
Absolutely.
Hug a policeman today.
That's right. You know what?
That'll be a novel approach to a policeman.
Well, especially now. That's the conversation that's brewing, of course, as everything in Baltimore was just going in riots and violence for so long until protests turned peaceful. Let me ask you this, Gary. When we're talking about Texas here, connect the dots for us tactically in terms of what you would look for next in tying these suspects perhaps to a large terror operation.
Well, of course, they're going to go back, as you've had other guests on, they're going to look at their communications on the internet, cell phones, all of that, their histories. We got to see where they're from. The Hamas organization, of course, are Palestinian jihadists that are quite bad. I know ISIS has already claimed involvement in that, but you don't know whether that's true or not. This is going to be an investigation. You don't want to jump the gun. The Bureau is quite experienced in Dallas, and the prosecutors are quite experienced because they've been working these issues for 20 years, over 20 years in Dallas, Texas. So, I'm pretty confident that they'll get to an accurate resolution of this very quickly.
Gary, you got to figure that if these two guys showed up toward the end of this event with these, your friends say, AK-47s with the barrel magazine, if they're outside there toward the end, maybe the intent was, as these people come out of this event, we're just going to kill them right there.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think that's a very reasonable assumption on your part, and it was made public. This event was being streamed also on the internet. Right. And it was not that the event was being hidden. It was a publicized event.
Sure.
It was advertised. Yeah. And then you had, of course, Geert Wilders, who was a known Dutch politician who has spoken against jihadism. You had Pamela Geller, you had Bruce Springer, you had three notables there that have spoken of the dangers of Islamic fundamentalism. So we're going to have to see whether the event was targeted, or these terrorists were targeted at the event, or they were specifically looking at individuals here. We don't know right now.
Gary, real quick, if it was true, it's something to remind me of the Yemeni attack and so many other attacks. If there were these bombs that were detonated, because people are talking about these smothered charges that are exploding, maybe they're just going through some processes. But if there was planned discharges around that place, that is very ISIS, Al-Qaeda-like. That would be something extremely concerning.
A lot of groups, I mean, look, we've been in an IED, improvised explosive device conflict with militant groups for years now. So I'm not sure that would be a signature of this specifically. But remember, bomb squads will use small charges to try to set off other charges right
Sure.
now if they suspect something is a charge. So again, we're going to have to see, but this is not good. This is an assault on the First Amendment in the United States. These are Islamic fundamentalists attempting to intimidate Americans.
They're
That's
not
right.
going
They
to.
look at
Because
terror.
it was a free speech event. All right, Gary Berntsen joined us today from Florida, I believe. Sir, thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you, Gary.
You're very welcome.
All right, it's 23 minutes now.